Hi everyone and welcome back to Sketch and Chill. Today I thought I would just try and show you how I go about drawing a simple scene, a simple street scene, as you can see here. This will be a pen and wash, and just by way of interest, you can see this is a photograph from somewhere called Troy in Alabama in the US. As you can see, it's pretty simple scene, one point perspective. So how do I go about doing this? Well, I just take the landscape here, and what I do is I divide it in half that way and divide it in that half that way with these arrows. Okay, so that just gives me a basic guideline. Okay, so without further ado, let's have a go at this, see how we get on. I'll just move that away for the moment, although you should hopefully be able to see that up here somewhere. Right then, so as you can see, the horizontal halfway mark here gives me an idea of how to find the horizon line. Okay, I mean, the other way of finding it is I could just follow these lines down here, and that would probably be around about there. So let's do that. Down there, about there, along there. Not being very accurate here, it doesn't really matter. So you can see the vanishing point is round about here. Okay, and so where do we start? Well, what I would do, I mean, you could just draw a line across there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go a little bit lower to here. See where the road sort of disappears there, and just do a very, so that's about halfway is about there, and just a little bit below that is just about there. So all I'm going to do is just going to do a very light line across here like this, stop it about there. And now just going back, you can see the vertical split here very conveniently falls on the corner of this building here. Okay, and this line here gives me this point here, so you see there's a very good point to start from. So if I take my sketch here, that's about the middle there, and we were about well, we were exactly on the line, weren't we? So that would be about there. So if you remember, then that's the corner of the building there. So let's just go along there and down there, around about there. And you know, we don't have to be that accurate here. Down to there, around about there. That's I'd say around about there. Across there like that. Across there. Down there. And that takes us away off to the side. What else have we got? So the corner of the large building on the right is round about there, I think. That goes off down to round about there. So we'll just do a line there. Near enough. And then really that's the worst of it done, really. What else have we got? It's difficult to see into the far distance, but we're not too concerned like that. Near enough, isn't it? So really that's pretty much the worst of it done. I mean, there's an awful lot of road in this sketch. It doesn't really matter. It's just and as you can see there's a fair bit of shadow, so we can just lightly draw the shadow in like this. It's about there. Don't have to be that accurate, it really doesn't matter. The thing that is difficult to see is the pavement, but I'm guessing here, so the pavement is around about there. It's not quite right, but again, it doesn't matter. It's just a representation of the image you see in front of you. Let's just put a little bit more detail up here. Then that's pretty much the worst of it. The rest is just bits and bobs. You know, we just do anything really, it doesn't matter. Let's just perhaps put a little bit more shadow in here. Off down there. We don't have to be too concerned. There's a telegraph pole in the middle there, which is about there. That goes all the way up to around about there. Nice cross piece there, and a few bits and bobs here and there. And then there's another one just behind it, around about here, I guess. It goes about there. Another cross piece there. And then there's another one behind that, around about there. Okay, well, do you know, we're nearly finished. Let's just do a little bit of the couple of trees here. So that would be again not really that bothered about detail, just to give you that impression. Where are we? Around there. And then 10 minutes, it shouldn't really have taken that long, but it's difficult to talk and draw. Well, it is for me anyway. Other than that, what we've got lots of wires, which are always good. So let's do a few wires here and there. Oh, there's something here, isn't there? Sort of goes like that, down like that, then cross like that. Again, you know, you can just make it up. Doesn't matter. Then there's a wire coming across there. We've got some wires going down there. Got some more going down there. And some going across there. Just adds a little bit of character, that's all. I can go across there. Nobody's going to know any better. Oh, a little bit. Let's just do a little bit of shadow in there then. And I think that's about it, really. I'm gonna pause for a while and come back to the painting. Okay, I'm back with you now, and what I'm going to do is use this. Where am I? There we are. A medium-sized water brush here. That's pretty much it. Well, apart from a slightly bigger brush, just to put some water on the page. And Otherwise, I've got my trusty paint palette here. Well used, as you can see. So, where do we start? Well, how I always start is with the sky, which is the way I guess most people start. And I always use the wet on wet technique here. Don't have to, but just it's the one I prefer. So, plenty of water on here. It's a very, very warm day today here in the UK, so the water dries very quickly. Right, that'll do. And usual thing I start with is cerulean blue and perhaps a bit of cobalt blue. Let's see. I'm using this water brush like an ordinary brush actually. I'm dipping it in, ordinary water. I'm not squeezing it. Right then, let's have a go. Alright, before it gets too dry, so just randomly scatter some blue around, it doesn't matter. Usually less is more, as I like to say. That's probably enough of that, so let's just have a little bit of cobalt blue. Say up here somewhere. And there you go. That's the sky pretty much done now. So what I'm going to do is I'll be back in a minute. I'll leave that to dry. Okay, so we're back here with the sky's more or less dry now. Near enough anyway. So we'll just get straight into this with... I've got no plan. I have no real plan when I do these paintings. I just sort of work on instinct, shall we say. So let's put a bit of water down anyway. That's good. On this near building. Like that, that'll do. And I basically use any colours that I like, really. I only use this reference photo as a very, very rough guide. Occasionally do bits of splatter, never does any harm. And I'm just randomly working around, really. No particular plan. Try not to overdo it though. Leave plenty of spaces. Whoops. That wasn't wet. Let's just put some and now and again, for no particular reason, I just like to spatter some paint around. Never does any harm. Perhaps a little bit on the shadows, not very much. It's very roughly. That'll do. Maybe a bit more splatter. have to be careful not to do too much here, otherwise it sort of drowns the painting. Bit of orange for no particular reason. Bit of red there. Okay, I think I'll probably go on to the trees now. So how I usually do trees is take some yellow, just roughly go around the edges of the trees, a bit in the middle maybe. And then I'll take, I don't know, maybe a bit of, is it Prussian blue, I think, yeah. Just because blue and yellow in theory makes green, hopefully. Well, why not use a bit of green? Actually, I think it's time for a bit of splatter. So let's take a bit of green. Okay, I guess that will do. I don't think I'm going to do a lot more, to be honest with you. Just bits and bobs here and there. What else? Not a lot really. Maybe I'll just do a little bit on the road, not too much. Just put some I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'll use some of my what they call felt tips, my grey felt tips. Just to do a few highlights, really. Yeah, I think almost there really. I might just do a little bit more splatter on the roads. If I can. Oops, oh, it doesn't matter. The more the better. and probably leave it there, leave that to dry, and be back shortly, I think. Okay, that's the painting pretty much finished really. So the next step I think is to, I mean it's okay, but it's a little bit bland and wishy-washy at the moment. So I think the next step is to try and bring it out a little bit, particularly this area here, the right hand foreground. So what I normally do is I usually just use the pen to go around the outline, and that brings it out a bit. So let's start here. And I think you can see already it's starting to come out a little bit, be a little bit more interesting. I don't want to do too much, just enough to begin out. Okay, that's probably enough, I think. Just brings it slightly more to life. So the next step will be to take one of my trusty brush pens here, which are all in different shades of grey. Obviously a very light one there, slightly darker, and so on. So these I just use for highlighting really. Usually start with a lightish one first. Okay, that's pretty much about it really. I'll just finish off now with my Posca white gel pen. There it is. Just a couple of highlights here and there. Nothing too much. Okay, there we are. I think we'll call it a day at that. So thank you as always for watching. So bye for now. We'll see you soon.